All right, good morning, everybody. Back for another top 10 trending articles in the crypto news space. Hope you got a big old cup of coffee because we got a lot of fun to get into today. Though, first things first, thanks to all those who have subscribed. I really do appreciate it. And as always, down in the description, you can find a link that'll take you to all the articles discussed so you can do some research for yourself. Alrighty, so let's hop into things. First up, China's blockchain initiative, the Blockchain Service Network, hereafter referred to as the BSN group, has revealed its plans to integrate with six, that's right, not one, not three, six blockchains: Ethereum, Chainlink, EOS, Tezos, Neo, Nervos, and IrisNet. They'll be part of the redesigned BSN International portal. This portal will be deployed on August 10th of this year, so just over 3 weeks away. Yeah, just over 3 weeks away. Getting close to a month, but that's still in cryptocurrency time. Pretty darn good. So the BSN is an infrastructure that provides APIs to websites. In addition, the BSN allows websites to offer BSN capabilities and functions. The goal of the project is to build an ecosystem of decentralized apps, or dApps, on public blockchains. They'll also provide developers with tools, interoperability, and maintenance. The project's ultimate and final goal is to build an internet of permissioned and permissionless blockchains, which eventually drives millions of dApps. So, again, I don't like China as a country, but the way they're treating blockchain and the way they're developing themselves to embrace it, they're going to be huge because of it. Like, the fact that we as Americans aren't in this same boat right now is insane to me. So, yeah. So the mentioned public blockchains are the first step, and only a first step of the integration that's to be expected. BSN also announced it will add 3 to 5 new blockchains to its ecosystem at least once a month, whereby the BSN will focus on public blockchains and offer 3 main services: permissionless, permissioned, and interchain services. To start with, the BSN will start with the integration of the EOS Diffuse API, and this will enable developers to create decentralized applications based on the network using EOS. Pretty insane. For those of you who don't know, we've been talking about this BSN for a while. They'd already integrated Chainlink Oracle services into their thing. Like they've already got that. And basically what they do with that is use their oracles to bring in knowledge from the outside world. BSN, I think, has 135 nodes spread across China right now, and they're doing like their initial ramp up testing phase, and announcing these brand new coins being added to the mix is just huge for them. I expect this will turn China into a power player in the financial tech world, and that is a grave cause for concern for anyone in the United States, as we've had a bit of an antagonistic relationship with them as of late. Rightfully so, in my opinion, but let's not get into politics here. We're here to talk about crypto. But that does it for this, so let's jump over to article number 2. Binance Smart Chain, which is a dual chain architecture from, of course, Binance, is now integrating Chainlink data oracles. Oh my god, the hits keep coming for Chainlink. So Binance Smart Chain, it adds smart contracts to the exchange's original chain, Binance Chain, which is currently in testnet, so they're working on it. Chainlink co-founder Sergey Nazarov said with Chainlink integration, Binance Smart Chain developers no longer need to dedicate months of engineering time to set up their own Oracle infrastructure. Now they can simply use Chainlink as an abstraction layer to build secure and reliable, universally connected smart contracts. Makes sense to me. Most blockchains, Binance Smart Chain no exception, cannot directly interact with outside sources. This is done to preserve the security of the network. So Chainlink is specially designed to be able to operate securely with outside influences, which gives it a huge leg up over many other blockchains and explains why it's being integrated so much. Instead of spending months or possibly years developing it yourself, you can simply partner with Chainlink and get it integrated in a matter of weeks. So it helps the turnaround time. That's really what it is. So, yeah, Narzov also believes the availability of secure oracles is essential for the growth of DeFi as a whole, pointing to Aave. DeFi projects can be launched and built in a matter of weeks rather than months. We've seen huge successes with stories like Aave, who launched using Chainlink earlier this year and have rapidly grown to over 500 million in value secured. And he's absolutely right. Aave is just knocking out a park. Though, no offense, right now, if you can launch even the most basic of DeFi token, you're making yourself a pretty rich person. So, it's kind of a fad. It's gonna level off. It's gonna calm down, but we're still in the explosive growth phase. So, good on all you who are willing and able to take the risk into investing in these DeFi projects. I wish you all the best. I wish I had the money to dispose of right now that I could just justify investing in all these things, but I don't. But still, Chainlink, Binance, huge partnership in a good way. So yeah, let's move on over to number 3. I feel this is more of a public service announcement, but I wanted to put it out there for you guys. So, Binance and Bitcoin scams. I'm sorry, not Binance scams, just Bitcoin scams. Before sending your Bitcoin to an address, you can check to see if that address has been reported as being used in a scam. Bitcoin Abuse is a popular website with a public database of Bitcoin addresses that can be used by hackers and criminals. You can look up a blockchain address, report a scam address, and monitor addresses reported by others. If the Bitcoin address you are searching for on the site has been reported by others, the site will display information such as the number of times the address has been reported, last report date and time, total amount of Bitcoin is received, and the number of transactions. Alternatively, there's also another website called Scam Alert, recently launched platform created by blockchain tracking and analytics provider Whale Alert. Take a look at that. Scam Alert, I actually have both of them up on another page. Bitcoin Abuse database is pretty basic. There's some text about, do not pay ransoms, how to report addresses, check history, monitor stolen Bitcoin, all that fun stuff. Not too much, but it's there and it's usable. Scam Alert, in my opinion, is much more usable. Right there up at the front, it lets you file a report. You can file it from one of 10 different choices. Blockchain payment address, an example. You can check an address. You can see the latest transactions or latest scams going on right now. There's a fake giveaway that went up 3 hours ago that's netted whoever $17,000. So there you go. Top scammers. Ooh, a lot of Ponzi schemes, and we got some fake exchanges. And then it shows you what common scams are. It's much more educational and it's much more usable in my opinion, but either Bitcoin Abuse or Scam Alert. BitcoinAbuse.com or scam-alert.io. I highly recommend you check them out. And anytime there's anything you think, is this a scam? Go to this website and check and see if other people are saying it's a scam. Yeah, that's all I got about that. You guys just please never send anything to those giveaways. We're actually going to be talking about them again here in just a little bit. So the cryptocurrency market got a $7 billion boost overnight. Man. So total market cap of all cryptocurrencies swelled from 277.3 to 284.5 billion bucks overnight. Ethereum's lead in that market, top 10 coins having spiked from 245 to 268 in under an hour. Yeah, I thought something was wrong with my Blockfolio when I pulled it up. Chainlink and Maker are also performing well, gaining 6.7 and 8.7% respectively. Stellar had some growth, but the biggest is Digibite. It demonstrated dramatic long-term resurgence this year after a 2-year downtrend was interrupted in March. Crypto has climbed from a 2020 low of 0.29 cents in mid-March up to 2.4 cents today. In total, Digibite has gained 12.8% in the last day and 324% since January in one of the biggest comebacks of 2020 so far. So I'm not sure what happened with this. Maybe it was the announcement of China's BSN, because a lot of those cryptos that jumped were being supported by that, and they just kind of carried the rest of the market along with them. That's the only thing I can really think of, because otherwise there's not much. I remember surfing websites last night trying to figure out, did Ethereum announce something? Is something going on? And I didn't get any concrete results. Alrighty, so another little bit of news before we take a quick break. U.S. banks are allowed to hold Bitcoin and Ethereum and Ripple now, and more, but those are the big three that they're going to publish. So, the secure custody of cryptocurrencies is enormously important for the progress of adoption and the confidence of the population in digital currencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, or XRP. In the U.S. of A., it was previously reserved for companies such as Coinbase or Gemini's to store cryptocurrencies for their customers. Until now, the government's license was required to offer the service. However, yesterday, the 22nd of July, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the OCC, has published a new letter that clarifies that all licensed banks in the U.S. are allowed to offer custodial services for cryptocurrencies. Right here. So, the OCC recognizes that as the financial markets become increasingly technological, there will likely be increasing need for banks and other service providers to leverage new technology and innovative ways to provide traditional services on behalf of their customer. The letter reaffirms the OCC's position that national banks may provide permissible banking services to any lawful business they choose, including cryptocurrency businesses, so long as they effectively manage the risks and comply with applicable law. Woo! That's good. Because quite honestly, the United States has had some pretty not hostile regulations to crypto, but unclear. The USA could lose its leading role in blockchain and fintech sector, as we talked about with China developing this blockchain service network. They're so far ahead in that regard. The United States is only still just having like preliminary Senate debates on the merits of a digital dollar. So it's a little bit concerning, but I'm glad to see some movement in any way, shape, or form that puts us forward, because, we do need to compete with other countries. We do need to continue to develop. It's okay for the United States not to be number one, but dear Lord, we kind of would like ourselves to be in the top 5. All right, well, that does it for the first 5 articles. Stand up, stretch, and then let's turn right around and hop back into the back 5. All right, moving on. For those of you who don't know, the United States has some Treasury Bonds that they issue, and these United States government bonds, considered perhaps as the safest assets in the world, are now losing money. So according to statistics published by the U.S. Treasury, real yields on even the longest-term bonds fell below zero since June of 2020. Bonds are traditionally considered the safest way of storing wealth without it being eaten by inflation. Their perceived safety relies on the belief that the U.S. government would never default on its debt, especially because the bonds are denominated in U.S. dollars. Currently, the annualized real yields for bonds are reaching as low as negative 1.13% on 5-year bonds, with 30-year bonds netting you a cool negative 0.3%. It's worth noting that the yield refers to the bond's interest rate divided by its market price, which could deviate from its true face value, or how much investors will receive at maturity. Still, though. So, as you guys well know, there's a pandemic raging our globe right now, and the United States is suffering from it pretty bad. So, with massive liquidity injections making that there money printer go burp, in addition to slashing the Fed's borrowing interest rate to zero, which trickles down to bond yields and consumer lending, all are contributing to push the supply and consumption of dollars higher. The combination of these negative yields on bonds are expected, and the expected liquidity injections seem to be pushing investors into riskier assets, which could partially explain why both the stock market and cryptocurrencies have been rallying virtually without a break since the Black Thursday crash in March. With cryptocurrencies often considered as a hedge against inflation, they're still considered to be high risk, which is true, but honestly, a lot of us aren't sure what high risk and low risk really mean anymore because any money I've stored outside of crypto has not done great. Like, yeah, I've had some investments do all right in the stock market and stuff, but my real returns have come from crypto. So definitely something to keep an eye on as more and more people leave these bonds and move into riskier assets. That, in my opinion, just lowers the demand for the bonds, which then can contribute. We'll see, but at the same time, all of us are really rolling the dice on this one, because if this house of cards collapses, which it's currently held up by one card that's bent halfway, we could all be in some serious trouble. Yeah, okay, moving on. So, hey, let's get back in and jump on over and talk about these scams. So, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, why they always use a funny picture of him, I'm not sure. He's going after YouTube for failing to control a Bitcoin giveaway scam, or multiple. He alleges the scam has cost investors tens of millions, and it alleges YouTube is actively profiting from promoting these actual scams. So the individual seeking damages for giveaway scams running on the video sharing giant for months. They are represented by Cochet, Puter, and McCarthy, an American law firm based in California. The complaints say they flagged the scheme several times to both YouTube and Google, but received no response. Same, did that. Instead, they allege the two firms have actively promoted and profited from the defamation while knowingly providing targeted advertising for scammers. There's a lovely example of one of those. They were nice enough to crop out anything and say, classic example of a giveaway scam. Do not send money to these. But yeah, when they actually praised Twitter, which I don't know if that's appropriate, but they try to draw those conclusions. But they said when Twitter was hit with a massive hack of 130 celebrity accounts, they were quick to shut down the Binance scam in a day. In stark contrast, YouTube knowingly allowed the Bitcoin scam to go on for months, promoted it, and profited from it by selling targeted advertising. I mean, yeah, I look at a lot of crypto stuff, and I was seeing like 3 or 4 of those videos a day. So unfortunately, I can totally see this being a legitimate suit. I just can. It will probably get settled out of court for an undisclosed sum of money with no parties admitting wrongdoing, which, whatever, but hopefully this increased pressure will get YouTube and Google to take extra steps to mitigate any existing damages. So I'm really hoping to see a pretty severe stoppage of any of these scams that are going on YouTube, at least I hope. So jumping over to that with number 8, Twitter has explained a little bit more about how 130 of its most popular accounts got hacked. As you all well know, it happened on the 15th of July, and they got a lot of people, including Barack Obama, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Twitter has updated the details of what actually happened in a company blog post, with the latest edition coming Wednesday, the 22nd. They believe the attackers targeted certain employees through a social engineering scheme and used their credentials to access Twitter's internal systems, including getting through two-factor protections. I mean, I could have assumed that myself, but whatever. Crypto security firm Chainalysis has also carried out its own investigation of the digital incursion. It added the scam took in just 13.14 Bitcoin, worth approximately of $120,000 over the course of an afternoon. Dear Lord. But yeah. So Chainalysis revealed the hack began with the account takeover of known crypto influencer Angelo BTC, who has 152k followers, and it just kind of snowballed down from there. So an interesting thing I did want to point out, crypto exchanges such as Coinbase blacklisted the scam address to prevent their customers from sending Bitcoin there. Coinbase stated it had prevented just over 1,100 customers from sending a total of 30.4 Bitcoin, worth almost $280,000, to the fraudulent address. Yeesh. So they could have gotten a lot more if it wasn't for our good centralized pals like Coinbase. Woo. Freedom from censorship, freedom from centralized control also means freedom to mess it up yourself. But that risk is worth it to most people, including myself in many ways. So, according to the New York Times, there were 3 hackers involved who met in a Discord channel devoted to hacking high-profile social media accounts. Interesting. So hopefully they are working on identifying the one guy, particularly the one who used the Coinbase address in the hack, that they can trace it back to him. And we'll go from there. Interesting to see. All right, let's hop over. So Gemini will now be keeping your quote-unquote unstoppable web domains safe, so you don't have to. So new entrants into the crypto market are often daunted by the responsibilities. You lose that scrap of paper on which you put down your private keys and seed phrases, and you'll lose access to all of your crypto. That's very true. It's the same for crypto domain names, says Brett Cam, founder of the San Fran-based decentralized domain name registrar Unstoppable Domains. Buy one of his crypto domains, the rarer among them costing upwards of $10K, and you'll be responsible for guarding the keys to the domain name with which you can host your very own decentralized, censorship-resistant website. Lose it and you'll lose access to your .crypto website. Yeah. So today, Unstoppable has announced that you can entrust your crypto domain names with Gemini custody. He told Decrypt that unlike the .coms of the world, whereas it's regulated by ICANN, the UN body that keeps guard over the internet and can rescind .com domains at will, a .crypto domain names are non-custodial, meaning their owners have complete control of them. Neither ICANN nor anyone else can take down the websites hosted on .crypto domains. Because crypto domains are tokens, like held in Ethereum wallets. To be precise, they're a very unique NFT, or non-fungible token. Unstoppable has sold over 250,000 of them to 21,000 customers. Interesting. I do like censorship-resistant things, especially as more governments around the world seem to be tightening their control on a multitude of different aspects. But at the same time, you do got to be careful with this. Complete lack of censorship means things like crazy theories like KKK are helping the nation type asinine things. So yeah, but hey, Cam said that custody services are useful for people who want to keep their .crypto safe. If you are not doing anything with your domain right now, you may want to store some of them with a custodian for some period of time. You can always move them right out. It's just another feature for the Winklevoss guys. These two, they look exactly the same, but one is like 3 full inches shorter than the other. So I'm just curious how that happened, quite honestly. But yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. Lets you keep your web domain safe if you're wanting to spend the money to buy a .crypto domain. I could see it being useful in some instances. But at the same time, we do need to be very, very careful. As will Gemini. They'll probably refuse to custody certain things depending on the nature of the content that's posted on the .crypto. All right. But hey, let's finish things out with number 10. Just a quick update. South Korea has made a decision. They'll now tax profits made from buying and selling of crypto at 20% for anything over digital assets of 2.5 million won per year, around $2,000. Anything below that won't be taxed. So the annual earnings taxed at 20%. It puts it at the same level as other taxable income in the Asian countries. Even though it's not necessarily viewed as capital gains, in Korea, profits from the sale of Bitcoin and other virtual assets are considered as other income, just like Japan. So getting some more movement, some more regulation. 20% is not like low, but it's not high, and it's flat. So that's the nice thing. You don't have to worry about it. You just pay your 20% and you go. Could be better, could be worse. Honestly, Not too much to say about that. Just another example of a different country getting some hardcore clear regulations in. The only catch-22 being it will not go into effect until October 1st of 2021. So they got some time. Alrighty, well that wraps things up for me. That was 10 of the trending articles in the crypto news space. Thanks to all those who have subscribed. Links are down in the description so you can go check out any of the articles talked about in this. Okay, taking a look at the crypto market. As stated before, things are looking up. Bitcoin is below, just slightly below. Let's refresh this real quick. Yeah, Bitcoin is right below 9,500, up 1.6%. Ethereum's up 8.5% to 264.64. XRP is up 5% to 20.8 cents. Bitcoin Cash is up 3%, SV up 3.8, Cardano's up 2.9, Litecoin's up 3.1, Chainlink's up 6.6, and Crypto.com coin is the lowest of the bunch, coming in up under 1%. In fact, the all top 20 coins, not counting stable coins, are in the green. In fact, I would go as the top 30. You got to go down to Aave at number 34 to get a coin that is not green. Ampleforth just dropped off a cliff, down 26%. Woo! But yeah, so it's a good day for crypto markets. We'll see if they maintain or if we get ourselves a dip here in the next few days with the uncertain financial situations going on around the world. We'll see how long this train keeps moving. But in any case, back to talk to you tomorrow. Thank you again for listening and stay safe out there.